nationwide uprising is entering its fifth straight day, fueled by economic collapse and decades of corruption, and now posing one of the most serious challenges yet to the ruling clerics.
It began December 28th as a protest by merchants in Tehran's Grand Bazaar over the free-falling currency, and it's now spread across the country, pulling in students, workers, very significantly merchants, and activists from every sector of society.
By New Year's Eve, strikes had shut down markets in the major cities. Witnesses say security forces opened fire as protesters stormed a governor's office, turning the standoff violent.
And then today, momentum appears to be building again. Reports from Tehran pointing to widening strikes at key food distribution hubs, while the regime tightens its grip, targeting students, cutting internet access off in the provinces in an effort to contain the unrest.
Multiple semi-unreliable sources inside Iran are reporting that several people that they were killed, though we cannot independently confirm that.
Joining us now is former Trump National Security Council Chief of Staff and Executive Secretary Fleitz, and Chief Talent Officer at Overwatch Mission Critical, retired U.S. Navy SEAL Officer Mike Sarraille. Thank you both for being with us. Mike, let me start with you. What, if anything, strikes you as different about this uprising?
That's a great question. So this is economic legitimacy collapse. Guys, you have inflation north of 40%. The currency is in free fall. Things are not affordable. Iran is facing external pressure, but internally, people have lost faith in it. Here's what's unique about Iran and something we need to keep in mind. The Islamic Republic was built to suppress their people. They have mechanisms in place through the IRCG, as well as Bajis, which is their internal Gestapo. But what is unique about these protests compared to the Arab Spring or the 2022 protests is that this was driven by bazaar and shopkeepers. So, this isn't symbolic like students chanting in the street. This is economic strangulation. So not only do we have street pressure with the students, we now have economic pressure with the bazaar and shopkeepers, which can bring serious pain on this Islamic Republic. And this has legs compared to any other protest we've seen in the past.
Fred, would you agree with that? Does this have legs?
It might. We're now on the fifth day. The protests have to reach a certain critical mass to have a chance of overtaking the government. It isn't to that size yet, but it's early. Past demonstrations have lasted for months. It may take a while. And just to put in perspective how brave these people are, Iran executed 1,500 political prisoners last year to stop this kind of thing from happening. These people are taking their lives into their own hands. They're extremely brave, and we just have to watch.
Mike, I want to go back to who's behind this, and hope that you can explain the significance, because a lot of people don't keep tabs on what's going on in Iran, but the significance of the merchants and this originating in these marketplaces, because they had been the key ones since that organized the overthrow of the Shah, and then the key ones propping up this regime. They're the ones that are leading this protest. Why is that so significant there?
Well, if you guys look back at the Arab Spring uprising, that was about political outrage. That was about, corruption with governments, tyranny. This is economic. And like I said, when money stops working, and if you want to hit people where it hurts, anything the government does not matter moving forward. So that is the difference. Here's ultimately, in my opinion, what needs to happen for real regime change. 5 things. 1, the sustained economic shutdown has to continue with these bazaar keepers. 2, everyone involved in these protests, which are the workers, the bazaar owners, the shopkeepers, they have to remain unified. 3, ultimately, they're going to need the IRGC and the Bajis, partially, a good portion of them, to defect or refuse orders. And then 4, they do have to have a narrative that the day after tomorrow looks like more hope than the current regime. And 5, this may be where external forces like the U.S. and Israel play a factor, is they have to keep communication channels open, like social media, in order for the protesters to communicate, coordinate, and continue to drive the momentum of these protests.